How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
I'm very, very glad to have you. Um,
Hey.
First of all, it's the first time I have come across an Algerian who has. You are Algerian, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. I'm still doubting things because it's the first time I land on an Algerian who found himself or herself in Japan. Yet usually Algerians migrate to France. Japan is a long way
Yes,
from home.
basically. Well, French happen to live in France, basically, but
Yeah,
mostly
yeah,
there are more Algerians in France.
yes,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. There are millions of Algerians in France, but there aren't millions of Algerians in Japan. So how did
Oh,
you?
no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, how did you land in Japan?
Well, short answer by plane, but long answer.
I can, I can
Long
imagine you
answer.
like going there by boat or something. I drove there.
Whee!
Yeah.
Yeah, I dropped there. Well, long answer would be I looked for a job actually. I didn't want to come to study. I
Okay.
wanted to start working immediately because I knew there was opportunities for scholarships
Okay.
still always available for people through the embassy. But I was like, nah, if I'll go there, I want to work and
Okay.
just have time to discover the place.
Yeah.
So I started looking on websites in schools because I studied English at university, so I was like, okay, I really want to continue teaching.
Yes.
That's my thing. So I looked for a list. I put a list of schools in Japan,
Okay.
and then I started sending emails. Got rejected, accepted, and then finally I decided on a school, and I came here.
Okay.
Ta-da!
So you went there for you turned out that you went there you left school here and you went there. This is what you
I
said.
was working in Algeria and stuff, but then I was like, I looked online, and then they basically recruited me
Okay.
overseas. So
I see.
yeah,
What kind of job did you get?
teaching English language
Ooh,
at a school.
that's nice. Did you speak Japanese beforehand?
I would say yes-ish, because
Yes-ish,
I didn't
okay.
have someone to practice with the language, obviously, but I was able to, get around the country when I first came.
Okay.
It was easy. I would say my listening was very good because
Okay.
I was mostly listening in my country,
Yes. Yes.
So, but when I started talking, I was like, oh my god, I need to produce
Yeah.
phrases now. So it was a bit tough at the beginning. But then I just you get used to it, like wherever you go, and the language is not that hard, to be honest.
Yes.
So with time, I was able to improve. Yeah.
Yes, I learned a few words just by watching Naruto, and which I forgot. I forgot all of them. So yeah, I guess it's not that
You already
difficult.
forgot?
Yeah, I only know.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah, I only know harigato now.
You what?
I only know harigato.
Well,
It is
that's
a real.
perfect.
Yeah,
It saves you
it
from
is.
a lot of situations,
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I know how to be polite in
I mean,
Japanese. Yeah.
yeah,
So
that's the most important part.
yes. So the Japanese language helped you a lot, right? Being able to speak in
Honestly,
English.
yes. Oh yeah, I cannot imagine. You're talking about the Japanese language, right?
Yeah, the Japanese language helped you get a job there, I suppose, and it helped you live there.
I would say it increases my chances to find a job, but not necessarily
Okay.
was a big issue when looking for a job.
Okay. Okay.
When looking for a job, they just look for experienced people.
Okay.
I was already teaching in Algeria. I taught at university, so I had the experience. So that was the most important thing, I guess. I wouldn't say that they would ask you for Japanese, to be honest.
Ooh,
Actually,
I
not
see.
many asked me for Japanese the first time, but they were like, can you handle day-to-day situations? I was like, yeah, I guess.
I see.
But then I did like a matrix move, like, I will know. I just need to. learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were confident enough to think once I get there, I'm gonna start to handle situations. I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, come on, you plan things. That's it. I mean, you
Yeah.
just plan. It's not like an impossible thing to do. Everyone can do it, I think.
Yeah. By the way, sorry about my image in on the computer is like completely blank. It's completely.
You look pretty. There's no pores,
This
no
is
blemishes.
this is what how my skin looks like in real life. I am pretty like this in real
Yeah,
life.
you woke up like this.
Yeah, yeah. So, and now, are you still teaching English? I saw that you do great photography. Like, I went through your photography account. It's,
Thank you.
yeah, I'm a photographer myself. And
That's
Japan,
amazing.
yeah, and Japan and Tokyo are like my dream settings for street photography. And what it looked to me, it looked like wherever you would point your camera, it would the photo would come out very aesthetic and very pretty and very like
Thank you so much.
futuristic.
I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah. So I actually really love your photography. I love the portraits that you do. You say on your account that you do event photography. Is this your job right now, or is this your part-time job? What kind of photography do you do?
Well, to be honest, it was very hard to make it my main job.
Okay.
Because mostly Japanese people usually they don't really trust foreigners for such things. Usually they would just go for a company, you know, they would go for a company that has a photographer, you know, catering and everything. So trying to work as a photographer, first of all, they don't really recognize freelance work here. You know what I'm saying?
They don't recognize?
It's not like other countries, not like Europe or US. You know, they're not really open to it.
Open to
So it was really hard to
freelancing, you mean?
Yes, freelancing, yes.
Okay.
Like I would say in Algeria, I can hire a freelancer.
Yeah.
You know, I would trust him for jobs. I wouldn't necessarily go to a company to hire a photographer, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and in Algeria, going to a company would be way more expensive. So it's cheaper.
That's the same thing here, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was a bit tough at the beginning, but then I was using Google Ads mostly to get clients. I don't rely on social media because they don't really care in Japan about social media.
Yeah.
Not as much as we do. Like, oh my god, buy this product. Oh my god, go to that school. Never mind. So like, but they rely mostly on. They rely mostly on.
Yeah, we know what you're
rely
laughing
mostly
at.
on like. Yeah. Just.
And by the way, there's a latency between the communication between us.
Oh.
Yes. So like it would seem like we're talking over each other, but we're actually not.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I have it from my side.
Okay. Yeah, because
Alright,
I do feel the latency here, but it's okay. Don't mind.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
But anyway, so I was saying is like, and then with time, you know, and like trying to meet people, my friends, my ex-coworkers, it's a mouth to ear job basically here. Alhamdulillah, it works fine.
Okay.
So now I'm like still teaching.
Yeah.
A little bit, but mostly focusing on photography for events, weddings, you know, portrait shots and stuff like that. That's what I do mostly. And product photography, like food photography or, you know, makeup and stuff like that for magazines.
Yeah, that's amazing. You said that you have a Nikon D850.
Yeah.
I actually also own a Nikon. I take photos mainly with my Nikon as well. So
What Nikon do you have?
I have the D600.
It's fantastic. Yeah.
It is.
All these series are amazing.
Yeah, I never felt the need to replace it. Yeah, and I invest mostly in my lenses. So.
Yes, exactly. With Nikon lenses, like, oh my god.
Yeah, our lens
every time is a slab.
Yeah, our lens is cheap over there because here Nikon lenses, especially the old ones, are dirt cheap. Like they're so cheap. Are you able?
What do you mean, like old?
I mean
the new mounts or the F mounts or
the Nikon F mount, but like lenses that come from the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s.
Ah, okay.
Here they only like 5,000 dinars, 10,000 dinars. Like I bought
I think because they might not know the value of it.
They don't. No, they don't. I bought a 70 to 200 f4 lens. It's like really big with like big lenses inside of it. And yeah, I bought it for only 10,000 dinars, and I couldn't believe it.
What's the f-stop for this one?
F4. So 200, so 70 to 200
Okay.
f4.
That's pretty cool, actually.
It is. Maybe,
f4 is pretty good, actually.
Yeah. Can I show it to you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, go ahead.
Give me a moment.
I'm gonna do the advertising.
Okay.
This interview is sponsored, well, not sponsored by Nikon. More
But
information,
then,
visit nikon.com.
but then Nikon is gonna turn out to be a fraud, and you're going to prison.
Oh no!
Yeah. So look how big the front element is.
Yeah.
And this is like
that's
only.
what it is, yeah.
Yeah, and this is only 10,000 dinars here. And I also bought the 105 2.8, which was used to photograph the Afghan girl.
Ah, okay, the same one. All right.
Yeah, and I bought it for like nothing. So
How many millimeters?
105, 105 millimeters, 2.8.
Oh, okay. And what's the f-stop?
2.8.
Okay.
Yeah, and I bought
Pretty
it.
good. Honestly, I'm a big fan. I am a huge fan of the 85 1.8.
It's amazing. Yeah, especially for portraits.
Yes, it's the first time I tried it in the store.
Yeah.
Well, usually I always shot with the 50 first. Okay, that's my main lens
Yeah.
for everything. And then I have the 300s, like usually for weddings. Like, you know, if I want to be like a sniper kind of feel, like I don't want to interrupt the wedding or be too close to the people. It's very nice. But the 85 is different. I just basically fell in love with it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Is like, if you give it to someone else, because most people ask me online, like, what camera do you use? If somebody is not a photographer and they ask me, I'm like, that's not the right question.
Yeah.
Like, ask me also what kind of lens do I use. Ask me like about the setting. Like, I mean, many things get into the actually the composition of the picture.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I saw people shooting with 85, but it was like, and I've seen people shooting with 50, and they had better shots than me in 85. So really depends on many factors, I guess.
It totally does.
I use the on a wedding, on a heavy day wedding, I usually use like 2 cameras. The 7200. It's pretty light.
Yes.
And it's good for using what's it called, the stabilizer.
Ooh, okay. So it's got like sensor stabilizer, image sensor stabilizer, something like that. I'm sorry.
The DJI,
I'm sorry, I lost.
You didn't hear me?
I lost connection, so I couldn't get you for a moment. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. I was saying like it's when the Nikon is lighter, it works better with the DJI running the RSC2 because it's also light.
Okay.
So when you're filming, I just started filming, to be honest. I'm not an expert.
Yeah.
That's a new thing I am trying to.
Yeah, it's very different from photography.
And then I fail. Right now.
Hello. I'm very sorry. I lost the last 10 seconds or so. I wasn't able.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I wasn't able.
What did you hear last?
I heard you say that you started filming, and it's and what I said after that is that filming is very different from photography. So yeah, tell me about this new adventure that you're going.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, basically, because there is a need for it. I mean, I see a lot of people asking for videos, a lot of people asking, like, you know, for this kind of new element to add to my business.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, honestly. I'm pretty new. I start like a year learning about these things by myself. I'm trying to watch videos. I'm trying to take courses online. And I'm not waiting for myself to be an expert to do it, you know? I just need hybrid videos, like after weddings or something. So that's what I'm trying to master right now. And he's gone.
Yeah.
And he is gone.
I am here. I'm actually listening to you.
Oh,
Okay,
okay,
I gotta do something
Okay, cool.
about my internet connection. So give me one moment. I'm gonna use 4G. So is it working now?
Yes, it's fine. I can hear you.
Okay, I can see you very clearly and hear you very clearly now. So yeah, you were saying that that you started filming, and filming is very different from photography, and then you started filming because business led you to that. So what I want to know, actually, when it comes to business, I actually tried to become a professional photographer, like make money out of my photography, and it worked out. I was able to find clients and do jobs for clients, etc. But what happened is,
Awesome.
what happened is I was losing my passion for photography while doing business with it. So I would always be tired of carrying my camera around. I would be like, okay, I took enough photos for the week or for the month. I'm done with that. And the clients also weren't very helpful in terms of how much they would make me, how much freedom they would give me, and you know what I'm talking about. So it turned out I actually sacrificed the money and the business that I could have for my photography, for my love of photography. I was like, this is one of the few things I enjoy in life, and I don't want to spoil it for myself. So I'm gonna...
Yeah, I totally feel you. I mean, the same thing happens to me because working, for example, I do 3-4 days a week sometimes. I work under contracts, for example, like for a magazine, they ask me to take pictures for some kind of thing or a model. And after I come back, I'm like, okay, hold on. This is beautiful. I'm supposed to take a picture of it. It's nice. Never mind. Like, I just, get tired of...
Yeah.
It's just like, next time maybe, or whatever. So whatever, now I'm like, no, I need to take pictures of things I like and create a theme for them. And my friends keep telling me, you should be more active on Instagram for the photography. I'm like, no, like no.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I get tired of it, to be honest. You're right. It's just with time you get like, okay, I'm making money out of it, but I need to enjoy it as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was gonna ask you a question actually. So yeah, you came out of photography. What I wanna know is, I had like a really interesting question about photography, and it slipped out of my mind. And
oh no.
Yeah, I'm very, and then later I'm gonna be like, why didn't I ask her that? But anyhow, so yeah, what I would like to know is your experience going to Japan. How different was it from Algeria? Like, it must have been a kind of a shock culturally, and in terms of how things work, in terms of language. Are there any similarities between the two societies? Like, how was your experience like when you went there? When you changed, how much change was it to your life?
You're gonna find this awkward, but do you believe in visualizing things of the future?
Yeah, of course. Well,
okay, so I've been through this process basically. I always visualized myself living here.
Okay.
At some point in my life. I imagined all the details, okay? It's just like, it was crazy clear in my head. Like, I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. And when I was home, when I was in Algeria, I used to go to Google Maps and check the streets in Tokyo and everything.
That's cool.
So
yeah.
I was like this kind of weirdo. So I was always like trying to find the street and walk in and see, oh, what's that? Oh, what's that? Oh, this is sign. What's this? So yeah, that was my life. The thing in Algeria is I really loved living in Algeria, to be honest, because I was surrounded by the right people, I think.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
My friends from university and everything. So what was happening beyond that, I didn't know, basically.
Okay.
So I was like going to university, do theater with my friends. We used to do theater at Atra, and enjoy our moment together, having like this super cheap sandwich kind of thing and enjoying it, you know. Going back home, watching movies or playing games online, and that's it. That was my life.
Okay.
So when I came here, the first time I visited actually for a couple of days, I was like, why is everything so familiar? It's like, it's so weird. Yeah, it was weird because when I go to France, to my brothers or something, I always feel uncomfortable. I don't know why, but I've always felt uncomfortable going there. You feel the social pressure, you feel the many things happening. I don't know if you've ever been there. Like, you feel the difference. Like, I'm Algerian in France. That's it. But when I came here, like, nobody's watching, nobody's looking, everything is working fine, like, everybody's doing his thing. That's the dream for me. That was the dream, basically. It's like, as a person and as a woman also, to walk, I was like, hold on, nobody's saying anything to me on the street. What's happening?
Ooh.
What is happening?
Okay.
Like, this is weird.
I see. Yeah, I can imagine that, yeah.
So when I was at the hotel, I was trying, people were very weirdly helpful. I didn't expect them to be helpful because of, you know, all what people say online.
Yeah.
They say city people are cold and stuff like that. But the first day I came late. It was the Qatar flight, 10:45 p.m. or something. So when I arrived to the station of my hotel, I completely like, where the hell am I? And half drunk guy guided me to the hotel.
Oh,
I was like, is this guy drunk? Yeah, he is, right? But he guided me to the hotel and then he left, like as if nothing happened. It's crazy.
He was able to find his way.
That too.
Yeah.
But when I moved here, the same thing. I mean, all I wanted in my life, in Algeria as well, I wanted just to, what every woman actually wants in Algeria.
Yeah.
To be free.
Yeah.
In a sense of like, you live your life and nobody bothers you.
Yeah. Which is not which is not the case in Algeria, sadly.
Unfortunately, yes. So, and I found it here, to be honest. So that's why culturally, I wasn't really shocked because I guess I was prepared a lot.
Okay.
This might come as a show off, but oh my god, so cringy.
Do show off.
I think I might.
Yeah.
I might have been the first Japanese language teacher in Algeria.
Oh, that's amazing.
I was
Are you
teaching at
sure
EMC.
of it? Okay.
Yes, I am pretty sure of it.
Wow.
It was. I was teaching in Shiraka. No, Dar Ibrahim, and then I was teaching at the embassy of Japan. Okay. Japanese embassy. I gave courses there. With they organized it for me there. It was awesome. Yeah. And I think I mean at that time, Japan and Japanese weren't really that much of a culture in Algeria. Yeah. So I was like, oh my god, this is so exciting. But it was fun, yes.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Like lately, there has been a surge in classes of Korean instead of Japanese.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I was very surprised too.
Yeah, there are a lot of Korean teachers that I know personally. There are a lot of people who are trying to learn Korean because of the whole boom of K-pop and the Korean movie.
Everybody who watched Squid Game suddenly likes K-drama. I'm like, I have been telling you this since 2006.
Yeah. The only K-drama that I watched, I haven't watched Squid Game. The only K-drama is a movie which is called Old Boy.
Fantastic.
Oh my god.
I love it. Oh my god, I love this movie.
Wow. Yeah, I was like, I kept
The
thinking.
moment you said it, I got the poster of the two guys
Yeah,
immediately.
yeah. And then there's Parasite, which is maybe the best movie.
Parasite, yeah.
Parasite, yeah. Maybe it was the best movie I've ever watched. Maybe. Like I was.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, I was so not expecting it to be that great. It was amazing. I loved every minute of it. Like every minute, I was like, I was very curious about what's gonna happen next, and what would happen next would be something that I would have never expected. So.
The thing is, like the director, his work, and the cinematography, everything. You know, the composition of each scene was just perfect.
Yeah.
And actually, talking about Parasite is one of the things that led me to learn videography, because it's just insane to see how much you can create, like the film you can create from these kind of shots he did. Like it was, I agree. Other like horror movies, for example, Korean horror movies are way better than Japanese horror movies, for example.
Yes. I heard of them. Yeah, I heard that they're very, very good. Yes. Yeah. Were you saying something?
No, I was just about the cultural shock. I think that I would say I've met people who were having like the honeymoon phase in Japan.
Okay, did you have that honeymoon phase in Japan?
No, honestly, no, I didn't, because I knew a little bit about their society. I was reading, I was learning about these things, like the social aspect, not only manga, anime, music, kawaii. No, that's not the good way to start your journey in Japan, to be honest.
I see.
Because you come to realize that if you are somebody who watches or reads manga actively and telling people all the time about it, it's really bad.
Yeah.
On a daily basis. You can, but you don't have to tell everyone, basically, that you're doing it.
Yeah.
Like, watching, did you watch this? Did you watch this? I met foreigners like this who go crazy about, like, what's his face again? Demon Slayer.
Okay. Yeah, I heard.
Like, now you can see people, residents here, like, wearing the costume.
Yeah.
Like
I think it's over recently. The manga ended recently, right? Of Demon Slayer.
I think so, yeah. I think so.
Yeah, I haven't read any of it. One aspect of Japanese culture that I heard a lot about, which is loneliness. So I heard that Japanese people are very lonely. They have trouble making friends. They have trouble getting into romantic relationships, and as a result of that, the population of Japan is declining. And there has been, like, since COVID, I think they did like a ministry of loneliness, which is like, sounds like something out of a manga. So it's
NHK Yokoso, yeah.
Okay.
There's an anime talking about this. It's called Welcome to NHK.
Okay.
NHK is like the national TV here.
Okay.
But the mangaka changed the story to Nihon Hikikomori Kyodai. Hikikomori, it means the person who stays at home and doesn't leave, doesn't socialize.
That's what I want to be when I wake up at 8 a.m. to go work. Like I consider being that. Yeah.
So basically, that I would say from my experience, with the people I know, I cannot speak for all the Japanese, obviously.
That's what I want to know.
Yes, I would say that they are not lonely. They're just like that. I mean, they are just persons who enjoy their own company and they have their own stuff to do.
Okay.
I think that most of the time it's Western thinking, criticizing or talking about the Asian culture, being like, they are lonely, they are this, they are that. For example, I've seen a lot of movements of LGBTQ here. Yeah. Not from the Japanese, from the foreigners, because the Japanese people don't talk about these things at all. Okay. Like, they don't talk about something that is private to them only as a person.
I see. Like, for example, if someone is gay, it would only concern himself and whoever is very close to him.
Exactly.
I see.
Just him. But in America, or apparently, like the Uganda guy say, why are you gay? Like, they keep asking.
Why are you gay?
Why are you gay?
Yeah.
You are gay.
Yeah.
But, but here, like whatever you do,
Yeah.
even the perverted side of Japan
Yeah.
that many documentaries love to show or
Yeah.
point at.
Yeah.
If somebody is perverted, and let's say you have a fantasy of a high school girl or something, there are made cafes for that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they create this. Just go there and don't create any.
That's where I would
basically
go first thing if I go to I would go to a cat cafe and a high school girl
Cat
cafe.
cafe is fun. For maid cafe, I mean, it's so hard for the women, you know, because when she finishes, the guy, some people are waiting for her outside. You know, this is where the phenomenon of stalking starts, basically.
Yeah.
But it pays so well that most of the girls are tempted to work in maid cafes.
Yeah.
And nothing happens physically in there. You just are served the coffee.
Yeah.
And they go like, yeah. And you pay 50% more than expected for a coffee for that, yeah, basically.
I see. Maybe it's worth it.
But, oh my God. But anyway, what I'm saying is like, even if you have a vice,
Yeah.
you can go do it, but do not disturb the society.
I see.
That's how they live here, and I really like it because if there's a crime, obviously you are on TV.
Yeah.
Just like I was speaking with my friend, like my Algerian friends here, we laugh sometimes at the news. Like the guy who works at the government, he smoke in his car.
And this made national
The car
news.
is yes, it was in national news because the company is the car is the government's car.
Oh, okay.
So he used public property, blah blah blah, and he had to go on TV and to apologize.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's
I
very common.
I saw on YouTube many compilations of Japanese news like ridiculous things that happen.
Apologizing only.
Yes, all the politicians. I saw the female politician who was like abusing and bullying her employees.
Konohage.
Yeah,
she said.
I saw the guy. Yeah, I saw the guy who was asking for.
It's crazy that you know about this. You know.
Yeah, I'm very very interested in Japanese culture.
I can tell.
I don't speak any Japanese, but I spend most of my Friday watching videos about Japanese people doing stuff, and I play Japanese games a lot. So I play a lot of the Japanese RPGs. So like after work, I live in Japan. Just
fantastic, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, fantastic.
Yeah. So there's that politician who was asking for day offs for fathers, so that they could take care of their children after they are born, like just like how women are granted day offs or vacation. Not vacation, like I lost my English.
It's
but
not vacation, bro.
Not vacation. But it's like 3 days or whatever it's called, so that they could give birth and take care of their child for like a few weeks or a few months. He was asking for the same thing to happen for men. He said that men.
Yeah, basically maternity leave and paternity leave.
Yes, paternity leave. Yes, and then when he was granted paternity leave, he used it to cheat on his wife. And this made national news, and people were like, this is what men do with paternity leave.
He actually leaves.
He leaves you with the baby.
Hold on, I need to talk to my husband. Where
no paternity. Where were you on your paternity leave?
No.
Yeah.
Not happening.
Yeah. Are you married?
Yeah. Yes, I am. Yeah, I'm married and I have a kid.
Okay. Is your husband Japanese?
Yes, he is Japanese.
What does he think of Algerian culture? And I wonder, I have a lot to talk about with him about Algerian women.
Hold on. What does he think? Listen, you cannot ask Japanese people, what do you think? Learn this from me.
Ooh, would that have been rude or something?
No. The best way to ask is, what is your image of something?
I see. Okay.
They don't think of things they don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, all right. Okay.
I learned as well. I mean, when I ask people, what do you think? They always have like weird answers. They don't know how to answer. But when I said, what do you know or how do you imagine
Okay.
Algerian culture? Then I have answers. I realized this many times. Like, why
See.
don't they answer my question? But it has to do with the language as well. Because in the language, in Japanese, they don't say, what do you think of this, for example? Okay? They think, what's your image of this place or this culture? So for my husband, the first time, he didn't know much about Algeria, to be honest.
Obviously.
Yeah, but I educated him.
I can
A little.
yeah.
So flag, football, couscous, macarot. Okay, so this is important.
Yes.
Moving on. We don't like French people, not all of them, but yeah. So what else? So it's like this, very much biased stuff.
Yeah.
But no, the coolest thing is like when he came, actually, when he visited Algeria.
How was
awesome.
it for him? How
Fantastic.
did he picture the thing?
Oh, look at you learning.
Yeah, I'm learning. Yeah.
He loved it, honestly. He enjoyed the food very much.
Okay.
When he sees something weird, he laughs, just like Japanese people usually do. Like,
what kind of weird things did he see? Oh my god. It's Bedale.
It's in the market. No, not Bedale, good stuff. I mean, because I always have this argument with him. It's like, in Japan, if you don't have money, if you fail, if you fall and fail, people don't help you. You die.
This is true. Yeah.
This is true. But in Algeria, people help you.
Yeah.
You cannot die from starvation.
Yeah.
By asking people. If you go out and ask somebody, hey, I don't have money, can you please buy me something?
Yeah.
People would definitely buy you something, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes, but here, no, I doubt it. I'm not saying everyone is the same, but they don't have the same mechanism that we have as a third world country, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
Like, we have each other's back most of the time.
Yeah.
We can say anything we want about Algerians or Arabs in general, but we can say that we are very generous when it comes to these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most of us.
I see. I don't want to be intrusive, but actually what I see is that, so I'm still single, but whenever my family think...
Ladies!
Yeah, hello. So, call me. So, whenever they see me hanging out with a foreign woman, so just friend Dhaka, they'd be like, ooh, is he gonna marry a foreigner? Is this gonna be a problem? How are we gonna interact with her? Is like بعد جوليا قال لي اسمع ما طيبلكش محاجب صباح. I'm like so that's yeah. Okay, I'm back.
Shame. Welcome back.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
so
what I want I was asking about
marriage with
how, as an Algerian, as someone who grew up in Algeria, I know that you were very acquainted with the Japanese culture, but how easy was it for you to live with the Japanese men and get along with the Japanese men? Like, is it really true that Algerians aren't able to get along with foreigners? And I guess the extreme foreigner would be the Japanese guy, because they're very, very different from us. So
yeah, I guess.
So how was it? Like, how easy was it to get along with him? How easy was it for you too? I mean, for both of you.
I think you have to be, first of all, aware that you are in an international marriage. This is important.
Okay.
Because you cannot just like Mister. Can't happen.
Yeah.
Because you have to understand that it's 50-50 basically. It's like you need to compromise, find things, talk, communicate. It's very important.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I've seen marriages I've seen people divorcing after 6 months because they haven't agreed on these things from the beginning.
Ooh, I see. Yeah.
There was lots of friction. I knew about Japanese culture, I guess, and I was comfortable with it. So now we eat 50-50 food, Algerian, Japanese.
Okay.
He's learning Arabic,
Oh,
so
yes, that
cool.
sounds good. Yeah.
Yes, it's for the sake of our kid as well. I mean, he wants to speak with her also in Arabic because we are trying to speak in languages we know.
Okay.
And It's just I think that you need to be somebody who's at peace with
Mhm.
yourself
Yeah.
to be able to be in an international marriage with an Asian and a Japanese especially.
Yeah.
They are very helpful. They're very. I don't feel any difference between him and myself
Mhm.
at home.
Yeah.
We do the same tasks, same stuff, and I think it's all because we communicated something is going on.
Yeah. Yeah. I see
The
what you mean.
language sometimes pisses me off because, for example, if we say in English, if I tell you what's wrong with you,
Yeah.
it's a bit aggressive, right?
It is.
But in Japanese, it's not.
Okay.
Doshitano.
Okay.
Like doshitano. Like what's going on? When he says what's wrong with you, I'm like, what's wrong with you?
قدر روحك.
So this happens, but you need to be aware of that there is a language problem sometimes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would be fighting all the time. That's what I'm saying.
I see what you mean. This, I guess,
like,
yeah, these ces conseils, these advices, also work for, like, les Algérois اللي يتزوجوا مع أو ولاية. Like,
oh really? You think so?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like, whenever واحدة تتزوج مع outside of Alger ولا واحد يتزوج مع واحدة من شي الجواز يقول لك كيفاه تزوجت مع وهراني ولا تزوجت مع وهرانية. Oh my God, ربي معاك. So yeah, so let alone how people expect Algerians to marry foreigners. So what you're saying is anything. What I understood from your advices is that any good thing that you would do for a marriage to work with a non-international companion would also work with an international companion, like be understanding, agree on things beforehand, try to communicate better, etc. Those would work with any marriage. So yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I think as long as you know from the beginning, like with Islam also, like he converted, and when he asked me about it, I'm like, don't ask me, just go to the mosque, because obviously I'm Muslim. I'm gonna tell you good stuff. So there's the Turkish mosque here.
Okay.
The guy is Japanese, and I told like he can talk to him and ask him the questions he needs, so to understand better. Yeah. Ramadan was really funny the first time. He got angry. He looked like your regular Algerian guy on Ramadan.
Yeah.
He got pissed all day. It's like so angry, and then when he put so many things, and then at the end he just ate like shorba and one buraka.
Yeah, ushba.
Told ya. Yeah. Why did you buy all these things? So we appreciate these things together, and we try to celebrate everything. Like we decorate, like like people do Christmas, we do Ramadan. So we decorate and everything.
Ooh, I see. This is really nice. It's a beautiful thing what you're saying. I really love when people of different cultures come together. I think this is what pushes humanity forward.
Absolutely, I agree.
Yeah.
Because we're so, as Algerians, nobody can disagree with this. We are so full of ourselves.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because we have this syndrome of because we don't know what's happening around us. So we think our way is our way.
And it's the only way, yeah.
So I think if people get a chance to, learn more, they would definitely realize that, oh no, there are all the things in this world.
Yeah. So, there are other ways, and there are other sports than football, basically.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Like here, football is not popular at all,
Yeah, baseball is popular, or what?
Baseball, yeah.
Baseball, yeah.
You know Captain Majid, right?
Yes. He's like the president of Japan, right? He must be.
Yeah. Well, my station where I live, it's called Yotsugi. So the guy who created the anime lived here, or lives here. He still lives here. And you know why he started this manga?
Why?
because he sucked at football
I see. Okay.
at school. So he decided to draw a manga that speaks about like this amazing team who plays very well and stuff.
Yeah.
And so he became very successful
Yeah,
not playing tour games.
he drew his fantasy. If the author of Captain Majid lives not far from me, I would visit him every week and bring him like gifts and ask him to like I don't know I would
That's
pay-
what I was talking about earlier. They are very private.
yeah
Even the only time I was able to see Hayao Miyazaki, it was actually during he does a cleaning once a year,
yeah
April,
yeah
of a forest. That's the only place where you can see him.
wow okay
He hates meeting people.
Yeah.
He hates talking to people and everything. So
Have you
even his
ever-
interviews are very short.
have you ever talked to him?
No. Oh my god, I was too intimidated. Intimidated. Like
I would have went to him and told him like you have no idea how much you have influenced Algerian culture and my country as a whole.
I know, right? But
Yeah.
like it was just like I was like, oh my god, can I? Oh no. It was just you probably would feel the same if you were.
I can imagine.
My
Yeah, I fantasize about going to him and telling him all of those things, but if
You
I
know the
would,
meme cat video,
yeah.
like this. Yeah, I was like that basically.
Yeah, but like I remember when Captain Majid قبل الشبكة, like we went to school the next day. Yeah, we went to school the next day. We were like, stop everything, guys. Like شبكة تقبت. So we can't study.
Called
We
Rahmani.
can't. Yeah. Make a song about this. Rahmani,
You
please.
have to.
Please تقبل الشبكة. Yeah, and then بلومي when كي ماركا هذاك البيت recently تاع من السونتر قال لك شلون كابتن ماجد like شلون
Well, basically that's what
Yeah,
Atra
yeah.
Bouadma, they run for like 5 or 6 episodes on the field.
yeah
I don't know how
absolutely.
far, how big is that football field?
As
exactly.
big as Japan. I could
They remember
imagine.
all their childhood while running. I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah,
are we done yet?
yes, there's also
So yeah, that's just wanted to tell you because the whole station is covered in Captain Tsubasa, stickers.
Yeah.
And Iniesta came.
Iniesta,
station.
okay, yeah.
Yeah,
And he
because
played-
he's in Kobe Vassal now. He plays
Okay.
in Kobe.
Okay.
So he came to basically inaugurate
Ooh,
the station.
I see, yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Yeah, this is amazing. Tell me about you. Do you have one child or many children? How many kids do you
I
have?
have one.
You have one. Okay. Her name is Arcade or Arcade.
Arcade.
I thought it was Arcade. I thought okay,
I'm leaving. Bye.
these are like gamers, a gamer couple.
Well, I named her Arya.
Arya, okay. Is
The girl has no name.
that a video game character? I'm sure it's a video game.
No, Arya is the girl has no name of Game of Thrones.
Ooh, right. Yes.
But she has her full name is Leona Arya.
Leona Arya. Okay. I
Yeah.
don't know why did
So-
I hear Arcade? Abila,
Because Japan,
because Japan.
obviously.
Yes. Everything sounds like. Yeah.
When
tell
she was
me-
born, the first sound she made was tin 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 tin.
No. Yeah. Did you? Yeah, I can imagine. And every year on her birthday, she would do. So yeah.
Well, every week now because she's still tiny, so
Yeah.
it's just 4 months.
How old is she? 4 months. Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you, how is she coping with having like not coping, but how is she like reacting to having two different cultures from two different parents? But I guess she's not reacting. Yeah, she's I guess.
No, but like the language-wise, we are trying to speak the 4 languages at home.
The 4 languages.
I speak with her. Well, I speak with her in French and English
Okay.
and Arabic. No,
Okay.
sorry, French and Arabic.
Mm-hmm.
And my husband speaks with her in English and Japanese.
I see. Yeah. I guess what would happen is that she would start speaking pretty late because of the different languages. This is what I heard.
Yes, linguistically speaking, when you do this, they will compartmentalize at some point. They know that they will recognize the language Arabic with the mom, So
Okay.
we call this code switching in linguistics. So code switching, it means you're speaking one language and then suddenly you change it to another to continue the same conversation, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So children usually are able to do this. Not usually. It's proven that they can do this from 0 to, let's say, 8 or 9.
I see, yeah.
So basically I'm just gonna try to train her like this, and whatever she wants to speak later on, prioritizing obviously English and
She's gonna use it a lot.
Japanese because
Yeah.
I'm at Arabic as well, but I'm sure that she will speak Arabic normally if I just, from my end, do my part of the job, basically.
Yeah, I'm sure as well. So, as an Algerian person who lives in Japan with a kid in Japan, are you concerned about the way that Japanese people go through school? Like I heard that a lot of Westerners think that school is too harsh in Japan, or maybe they try to make all of the students look the same. They all wear the same uniform. They need to all behave the same way. The differences are not encouraged in Japan. Is this true? And if
It's true.
if it is, are you concerned about it?
You know what? Again, this is Western style thinking, like white people stuff.
Okay.
Usually, they always try to, look as, look, we're the saviors, and we are going to tell you about how to make the society work.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, like, their society is always dysfunctional. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
If you take your kids to a public school here in Japan, okay, let's say kindergarten, they have the same opportunity. All of them, they have the same opportunity.
Okay.
They wear a uniform because they don't want somebody to come with an Armani to the school.
Yeah.
And while the other one, for people who like drama, they probably watched Hana Yori Dango, Boys Over Flowers. It was a very popular drama at that time. And you can see how much pressure it gives you, to try to always look, even us in Algeria, for the love of God, you always try to overdress to impress people, even if you don't have. I've met people who have iPhone 12 Pro Max and the guy doesn't have 10 dinars in his pocket. Just because the image, people need to see me as someone who has something, So you grow up in this society in Japan. This thing doesn't exist much. It might exist a little bit, but in public school, no.
Yeah.
No. That's it. And I really love this because even our culture, the real culture of Algeria, doesn't encourage people to show off their things to everybody.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. People don't like show-offs enough.
Technically, it doesn't exist even in our culture. Yeah, but unfortunately with the media it has become, very present. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think from the perspective of an Algerian, of an Arab, of a Muslim, I think their way is the best way.
I see. This is the first time that a non-Japanese person has spoken about this and actually said something that is positive about the way that Japanese people do things. Usually I talk to foreigners about Japan, who went to Japan. I talk to people who visited Japan but don't live in Japan. So my cousin is one of them. A few friends went to Japan. But they don't really say nice things like, hey, everybody wears the same. For example, tinting your color blonde, tinting your hair blonde, or painting your hair blonde. Yeah. Is seen as provocative in Japan. But what you're saying kind of makes sense. Being able to.
Why do you have to always be the center of attention?
Yeah.
Why is this so important to people? I don't get it.
Yeah, but I guess having some kind of balance and giving people the choice is important. Are you still here? Can you still hear me? Hello? Yeah.
Hello.
I lost connection for a moment. Hello. Hi.
It's not a bad thing. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
They know how to live. Okay? They travel, they go to the best hotels, they buy stuff they like. just the.
I'm not hearing you at all.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, now I can hear you. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
You were saying that they travel and they live well. They know how to live.
Yes, it's just they are not the type to show it off too much. Of course, I'm talking about the majority.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have some people who do, but most people don't. I met people when I was teaching at a school. Extremely rich people come to take lessons. Okay?
In Algeria, you mean?
And you cannot tell. No, in Japan.
Okay.
And you cannot even tell that this person is rich.
Okay.
For example, the CEO of a company doesn't necessarily go to a 5-star hotel to eat. He goes to a noodle shop, the tiny one, the street.
Yeah. But they're like very good noodle shops over there, I guess. You don't need to.
Yeah, but like they that's what I'm saying. It's like they value the quality of things.
Absolutely, yeah. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. One last thing I wanted to ask you about in terms of Japan. Could you give me a moment? I just had the brain hole again, which is so culture. I forgot. Oh my god, this was a very interesting question again. Give me like 2 minutes. I'm gonna try to remember.
Do hashtags so you can remember.
Yeah, I should take notes while doing podcasts.
Mental hashtags.
Mental hashtags, yeah. So you were talking about hashtag rich people in Japan, and then you were talking about. Never mind. I just forgot. Maybe it's gonna come back later.
No worries.
Yeah.
About life, about people, about
it's
work,
like
about school.
Not to work. It's something that is I'm gonna answer this question. It's not with the one that I forgot, but it's something that I find quite interesting. Have you watched the movie Arrival?
Arrival. Hold on, I need to see the poster. Remember.
Okay.
Remember movies by posters.
You have visual, yeah.
Arrival. Arrival. Yes? No?
Okay.
I think.
So I'm gonna spoil a few things for you.
Give me a quick. Okay.
So what happened in Arrival is that extraterrestrials came to Earth, and then what happened is like the problem that issued from that is that they realized that they couldn't communicate with them, and so they brought linguists, and they were and she was trying to learn the language of these aliens, and by learning the language of these aliens, she was able to grow new abilities. Like she was able to do things that these aliens were doing. Like for example, she was now able to see into the future, which is what these aliens were able to do. And it was only because of the language. And the analogy that they gave was, if you learn a certain language, you're gonna become like these people in terms of the way you see the world and the way you think, etc.
Yeah. I think it's the same for.
Yeah. So.
I think it's the same for learning languages.
Yeah. So could you tell me about yourself? Like, in which way and how much did you change by learning Japanese and then by going to Japan and living in Japan? Like, in terms of your personal behavior, the way you would do things, the way you would think about things, the way you would see things. Like, were there any differences that you noticed?
Yes. I would say that I was very impulsive before coming here.
Okay.
I think we are because of the daily microaggressions, we become very impulsive, and sometimes we lose our,
Cool.
patience. Cool, yes. I think also I learned to reformulate my questions to make them seem less aggressive for them.
Okay.
Because you come to realize that the English language is very harsh, very harsh,
Yeah.
compared to the Japanese language.
Yeah.
Let's say, for example, they don't really say to you no here. They say it's difficult. Can you do this?
Like to know is difficult.
It's difficult. Yeah. So now I became like this too. Like it's difficult for me to say no immediately to people.
Okay. Okay. I see what
Like
you mean.
especially for work or something, right? So you adapt the language, but the thing that I keep telling people, like, you can come here and you can work as a teacher and you can speak only English, okay? But you will never have the experience of living in Japan if you don't speak the language or at least understand what people are saying.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you don't understand their culture, they wouldn't interact with you. You're always going to be a foreigner.
Yeah.
I need to translate to this guy. I need to explain to him the whole thing.
Yeah.
So they get very excited when somebody understands a concept or a joke or something like that. They're like, oh my God, this person is making a lot of effort into understanding me.
Yeah.
I'll do the same. They do that.
Yeah, which is what I feel when a foreigner understands an Algerian joke or speaks in their
Same.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually remember the question that I wanted to ask you. There's one aspect. Yeah, there's one aspect about Japanese culture which I absolutely admire, and I think, and I wish Algerians had that. And I think I have some of that in my into my personality and my person, but I don't think all Algerians have that, which is how passionate they are about things and about their hobbies and about the things that they like. There's this term which is otaku, which kind of I know
Yes.
it's not. I know it's in Japanese it's not like a very cool thing, but there is still this term that doesn't exist in their job, which is being absolutely crazy about something. Like there are train otakus and airplane otakus and bicycle otakus and like I don't know.
It's basically a nerd.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's a nerd. I would say they are passionate, but again, on levels. Like I meet people who like photography, but on the more of like the older scope, the people who can afford stuff.
Okay.
There you can find them with like, a 400 telephoto, and the guy that has no idea what he's doing, but he buys it first and then he learns. So I would say financially they are engaged with stuff they like.
Yes.
They're not afraid of spending on things they like.
Yeah.
Some people who like clothes, for example, or fashion, they're really dedicated to it. But it's not necessarily to show off, It's more of like to feel like his personality. When I meet somebody with a specific type of clothes, I'm saying like he has this type of personality,
Okay.
etc., etc. So they are passionate. They are passionate, yes, but they are passionate their way. It's not our way.
I see.
They don't pour their soul and heart and everything in it. It's just, let's say you are a salaryman who works all day, okay? You work hard all day. So you want to do something else. I have had students who come on business days with a suit.
Yeah.
And then at some point I meet them on the weekend and they come with like super short shorts and a yellow t-shirt and a red hat, a completely different person. You see? So they always try to find something to the completely opposite of what they do on a daily basis.
Well, yeah.
They are passionate, but again, they are passionate privately.
I see what you mean. Yeah, like they don't feel the need to yell about how they are passionate about things. Yeah, I saw.
We didn't have this too in our culture. It was introduced to us through the social media. Basically,
yeah. But at the same time, like when I started doing photography here in Algeria, it was very, very difficult for me. What happened? Did you do like traffic betties?
No, something fell and now it's recording.
I hope it wasn't full of coffee or something. So when I started photography here in Algeria, I wasn't really able to find older photographers who were as much into photography as I am, as me and my friends were or are. In terms of, I would find like people who did photography when they were younger, but they never like kept doing photography till today, and they never really invested into the gears. Like this is the very concept of investing into different lenses and cameras and like going out to take photos and going on trips just to do photography is not something that I see is quite popular here in Algeria. But then again, when I look up photography on the internet, I see a lot of Japanese people who have tried everything, and I see a lot of photography. I see a lot of photography nerds that come from Japan. Like most of them come from Japan, like all the biggest inventions, etc. But then I am also very passionate about cars and sports cars and motorsport, etc. And I see that Japanese excelled in it, and there are so many Japanese people who invest so much into their cars and put so much passion and love into their cars, and they try to import cars from all over the world, although like it's not very easy for them to live their passion in Japan, but they do it anyway. And this is not something that I see in Algerians. What other aspects? Like I've seen videos of Japanese people when the train is coming by, they pick up their phones and they start taking photos of the different mechanics that are inside the train. Like this is, I wish I saw this.
They are crazy about trains here, okay?
Yeah, they are. Yeah. And the same thing with bicycles. Like my bike is full of Japanese parts. And the coolest things that you can put in it is a Japanese part, and then like the best experts are Japanese, and the people are really crazy about bikes over there. And yeah, this kind of passion that they have for their hobbies, I wish I we kind of have that here in Algeria, and I would guess that you kind of. This is just a guess, but maybe you do have this at least for photography. Like when I see the photos that you take and what you put on your Instagram, this is a person who's passionate about photography, and this is a person who goes out of her way to take photos, and this is very much Japanese-like, and it's not very Algerian-like, if it makes sense. So.
That you spoke about cars, photography.
Yeah.
Everything you spoke about was mostly about, parts of things you can acquire and collect.
Yes.
This is what object of things of.
Excuse me, I'm having trouble seeing you. I'm gonna connect to the internet again. Give me a moment.
No problem.
Yeah.
Woke up.
Is this working now? Okay. You're still freezing. Okay, now it's good. But I can't hear you.
Cool.
Okay, I can hear you now. Okay, yeah, good.
I might have to leave a little bit soon. My daughter woke up, so sorry.
We started late. Maybe we stop here.
But it's super fun to talk to you, to be honest. I'm really happy.
Actually,
okay, sure, whatever you want.
Yes, I had a lot of fun doing this. Could we do it again? Could we do it like a part 2 very soon? Hello.
Yeah, sure. I'd love that.
Okay.
Yes,
then
I can hear
I'm
you.
gonna let you go to your daughter. Thank you so much for being on this podcast.
Thank you.
And thank
My
you
pleasure.
Thank you for sharing your experience with me. This podcast is gonna come out soon. The video quality of your face is gonna be very bad, but the sound quality is gonna be good, and the things that you would have talked about are gonna be like amazing. So thank you so much for being here, for being on the podcast.
Okay.
And
awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, and I hope we do this again very soon.
My pleasure. Soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.